How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, y'all been hearing me lately talk about the ending of Esau's year and also the beginning of their year. So, what I've been saying repeatedly, my royal family, is that the enemy's year begun horribly and end horribly and begun again horribly. Now, if anybody is new to the true royal family or true royal, our new year start in March. And you can actually go look it up. I might do a video because I researched it myself. And so I've been saying repeatedly that the enemy, and also let's not leave out the enemy supporters, they celebrating what is dormant and what is completely dead. How did they get to that point? I would have to research that. I would. And I have found myself becoming more and more annoyed with people sending me Christmas cards, family members, people that know me closely, saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, knowing that I don't partake in that. But you want me to acknowledge that you are a Christian, and so I'm supposed to respect your choices, respect mine. But we're going to go much deeper about the destruction of America. Boy, when you become awakened, it is so hard to shut it off. If you are capable of shutting off core truth, then you're dying within, because we have a conscience. So it would take an effort. See, it's not an effort on Esau's part, because remember, that pineal gland by the age of 13 is close to 90% calcified. So they have discovered through science that having a calcified pineal gland, they don't have empathy for other people's pain and plight. All right? So they're just being true to their nature. But they want us to have sympathy for their destruction. So we're going to go on this journey. Never. I've been using this word a lot. Our Father will make you eat these words. Never. Or we never are going to shut down America again. Now, Rona and these variants are showing up and showing out America. And you want this planet to basically be a pincushion because you don't have a clue what to do. They will not elevate no further, my royal family. See, one thing I keep saying is they did us many favors. They wanted their heaven now, and we are always in a constant state of survival. Constant. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in Esau's world. I have something I want to read y'all that I ran up on last night. I'm going to read something to y'all. San Francisco only got more childless in the last decade. For several decades now, San Francisco has had one of the largest percentage of school-age children and teens of any major city in the country. And the latest number from the 2020 census show that San Francisco youth population has only decreased as share of the total population in the last 10 years. We learned on Thursday with the release of the data for the purpose of the congressional redistricting, that San Francisco population rose by about 90,000 between 2010 and 2020. And while California and the country as a whole increasingly diverse, San Francisco demographics shifted only slightly in the last decade, with the percentage of white people declining at 2.8%. The percentage of mixed race people rising from 3 to 5% on other demographics, in percentages moving less than 1% up or down. Well, we know these numbers are not accurate, and they're going to downplay it as much as possible. I would increase it by tenfold. All right, you can't believe everything that the enemy wrote down, and not everybody took the census, because I was one. The last time I was on anybody's census, I was still at home with my mother. So now, according to the Chronicle analysts, we learned that San Francisco percentages of children under the age of 18 slipped from 13.4% in 2010 to just about 13% in 2020. That means it wasn't no damn growth. And the continuation of trends that go back to the 1990s, when youth represented 16% of the city's population. Keep in mind, we just focusing on San Francisco. Growing up, and I'm one of them that did grow up in San Francisco, growing up in San Francisco continues to be an uncommon thing, largely driven by a lack of affordable family housing and various other factors, including less than stellar public school districts. Much of the Bay Area has lower percentage of kids under 18 than any parts of the country, but San Francisco has the lowest share by far. The next in line is Sonoma. So Sonoma County, that is not too far, from about an hour or so from me, with nearly 20% of its population under 18. And Contra Costa County has the largest share with 22.6%. Okay, that's families are moving in droves out of San Francisco. And I'll speak more on this. Let me finish this article. What does this mean for the city overall? Unfortunately, it could mean continued lack of board support for school systems through an investment in the city schools could succeed in keeping families with small kids from fleeing the city when those kids reach school age. Former Supervisor Normal Yee, as the Chronicle notes, wrote a policy briefing 4 years ago arguing for the creation of more affordable family housing. When we lose families, we lose part of what makes San Francisco a strong, vibrant community. Okay. Let's see. We have a responsibility to protect families, housing policies that will allow families from all social backgrounds to live here and thrive. They don't mean none of this shit. But how do you reverse a trend that been going on for 30 years, coupled with an era when few people are having kids overall? The short answer, you probably can't, but maybe they can keep the percentage of kids from falling any further. Okay. I've been talking about this for the longest, about San Francisco. I grew up in San Francisco. I went to their schools. I graduated from Balboa High. And at one time, San Francisco was a city of families, and it felt like family. It was fun to grow up in San Francisco. Now, when I do go to San Francisco, you see these people, and you can feel that they weren't even born and raised here. And what got them in the way, the LGBT community, they can't produce themselves, and not enough of them are adopting. All right, so they raise the prices up on everything. So naturally, families have to go where it is more affordable. And with families leaving in droves out of San Francisco, that means that federal dollars, they're losing federal dollars. It's all about money with them. All right? So let's keep that on our frontal lobe about the destruction of America as we continue on. I like this statement by W.E.B. Du Bois. Either America will destroy ignorance or ignorance will destroy the United States. I totally agree, but it's a willful ignorance. They're being very willful. They're being very defiant. Very defiant. And things had always worked out for the enemy's favor. And now they are at a total loss at what to do. Like I said, the only thing that they prepared for was to destroy us and us only. And so at this space and time, whatever their master plan was, we don't even supposed to be existing. Now they can't even reproduce themselves. This was foretold. And so I guess there is a group that is hoping, a wishing, and a praying that that will not play out like that. Well, what's so silly is playing out before your eyes. I'm speaking directly to the enemy and the supporters of the enemy. It ain't nothing you can do to stop this. You had a window of opportunity. You had a window. And so it wouldn't matter what you do henceforth. Henceforth. And there's a reason why America is rapidly declining. Oh, there's a big reason why, my royal family, and many of us know. So, we had Trump in office, and people deemed him to be one of the worst presidents that ever graced the earth. Well, we got Kamala and Biden in place, and what is the difference? You can really tell the difference. They just gonna maintain the same bullshit that they continue to do to us. Now, there are other races of people here in America, and y'all feeling that pinch. Prices is going up left and right, and the only thing that the government looks at is green, greed, green, money. All right? These two, whatever you want to call it, ain't doing a damn thing. Kamala is horrible and Biden is horrible. And they, both of them, clearly said they was not going to do nothing for us. And many black folks waltzed their ass to the polls and voted for these demons. And you keep doing the same repetitive shit over and over and over. Like I said long ago, and I said it recently too, when a Barack Obama entered that White House, how the enemy look at it is forever tainted. That's how they look at it. And he wasn't no better than them at all. So America, things are not faring well for you. What do you plan to do? Hold it, my royal family. I got to close this door. Excuse me for that. So we're seeing that voting is useless. It's all about what I keep saying repeatedly over and over. Take care of your immediate situation. You're wasting your time voting for them because they're going to continue to keep lying and lying and lying. But one thing that I do appreciate is that these lying-ass politicians is speeding up the destruction of America. And I take joy in your fall. America, no one cares about your tears. You're on the world stage. The only thing you're good for is to get whatever resources that these other countries get because you have sold yourself out long ago. So suck them tears up. Like I said, you had that window of opportunity. You had that window. But you're being willful. And as you're being willful, our Father is putting a smack down on you. But the full gauntlet ain't hit your ass, America. No, it hasn't whatsoever. Now, y'all need to get ready for your future. Yes, it's all been foretold. And how did y'all get to this? How did y'all really, really get to this? What is the cause of all of this, America? Why are you declining rapidly, America? Why is other countries not even wanting you around anymore, America? Anytime you want to go take somebody's oil and you want another country to back you, America, you have to pay them. You have to clear their debts, plus give them more coins. And trust and believe, America, when they send their soldiers over, they don't send their elite, because they know what America is on. See, America, you've been chastised for messing over the chosen ones. Oh, they know, my royal family. They know. I keep saying this is all about reclaiming our throne. This is what this is really about. But America is so willful. Just the thought of us receiving anything messes with their psyche, because they are concerned that they're going to get what they done to us. Yes, you are. You're going to experience it tenfold. Tenfold. So they already crying. They already crying. I've been showing examples, my royal family, of them crying on the witness stand. Let's get back here. Was it this one? There it is, on the witness stand. I had predicted long ago that even the enemy, the male enemy, he's supposed to lead everything. When they run out of options, they will cry just like they mama, because they mama taught them to do that. Now, you really got to look into this deeper, my royal family. When you got grown men crying because they've been busted at being blatantly racist, being outright murderers, and you're crying, this is supposed to be your system. This is supposed to be your country. Your woman is already acting out on the streets of America. Your children are killing y'all. They said that the enemy would eat his own. And we see it in real time. So, America, what is your Happy New Year about? Because this thing will continue to increase. We are speaking into the universe. We are sick of your shit. We will not be denied. We will not be denied our throne whatsoever. We're already there. Like I said, all this stuff is just playing out, my royal family. We are the chosen ones. We are part of this royal priesthood. This royal priesthood has nothing to do with Christianity. They want to say once you become a Christian that you are a part of a royal priesthood. I done went over there and listened to some of them, some of the enemies, their pastors, speaking this mess. See, what the enemy doesn't understand is many of us knew we were chosen before we can even form the word. So you don't have to be a part of any religion or anything like that. We just instinctively knew that there was something special about us. And I've often asked the royal family, when did you know? I've always known. I couldn't formulate the words, but I knew it was something special about my folk. My folk. Even at the lowest form that we are at, we still shine. We still stand royal. You are a masterpiece, my royal family. Yes, even at this low, weakening state, we can't go no lower. It is time to elevate. I often say, healing the war and healing the chaos. And we are definitely in a true, ongoing war. But things will come to an end and there will be a beginning. But I just take joy in watching the destruction of America. I take joy that you don't have a clue what to do with Rona. Rona is showing you she about that life. Folks is getting wiped out left and right. And I heard Lisa say it, and I have said it, and others have said it. In this war, there's going to be casualties. Excuse me, I can't pronounce it very well. And we will see some good folks go. But war is unforgiving like that. So there's a lot of people that are suffering. But you know, it's so deep. With the destruction of America, with the suffering of America, they still want to take out some very beautiful, divine people. You still have utter hatred on your heart. If I'm talking real close to the enemy, pay attention to me. You do not understand the force of our Father. You're playing with outright fire. But you want to partake in the continuous destruction of the chosen ones. That ain't going to happen. I just said earlier, your master plan didn't play out. Now, however they got it, because you know that they wrote it, that they figured that they would poison enough of us and kill enough of us where they would have a lily white world. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Because they got to do something if we ain't around. And we are around, and they still eating their own. The destruction would be even more rapid if we was gone. Because that's their nature. That's their nature. So, the enemy, I'm going to pay real close attention to your year. And just to add insult to injury, your year started during retrograde. That ain't so good at all. So not only do you start your year in retrograde, and retrograde can be quite destructive if you don't know what to do. I often tell the royal family what to do, but you don't believe nothing that comes out of our mouths. When it hit on my royal family, watch them come to you. Don't help them. Stay out of their way. Because it is time for the royal family to truly go home and get our rest. So the enemy, keep saying never. All right? And that smackdown is on your ass. Keep standing firm. Keep digging your heels in and see how far you elevate. All right, America? So I'm going to leave it there, America. But you know I'm going to come back and rub it in even more. But I'm going to tell you this, America, the royal family got something to do. They got to render their voice with their beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.